go to the in-season tournament. We'll breeze through this really quickly. One team out of each group, A, B, and C in the East and West. I'll give you my three teams from the East. I got the Cavs coming out of Group A. I got the Bucks coming out of Group B. And I got the Celtics coming out of Group C. Keenan, you said that there will be one other team. I selected as like the next best record out of those. I just selected the Knicks out of Group B. So my four teams will be the Bucks, Celtics, Knicks, and Cavaliers.
Yep.
So I went a way different route than this for the in-season tournament because it's in-season. For the West, for the East, I have the Hawks, Hornets, Magic. And then for my fourth seed spot, I'm going with the Bulls.
Cavs, Sixers, Bucks, Celtics. I have the Cavs, Bucks, and Celtics winning. I have the Sixers as the fourth team. I think Embiid's just going to do too much.
I actually like that. That's a good point. I could have picked the Sixers for that fourth seed. I had trouble selecting the Cavs or the Hawks for that A group, but settled with the Cavs. In the West, I've got the Suns coming out of Group A. I got the Nuggets coming out of Group B. And I have the Thunder coming out of Group C. And then I actually had the Lakers as the fourth team.
Sure. I went Grizzlies in Group A, Pelicans in Group B, Timberwolves in Group C, and then the Thunder as the fourth seed.
I have the exact same as Kyle. So I don't need to say much more about it. It's the exact same as Kyle.
And then I'll speed right along my in-season championship game, which is fucking wild to say. What is this, the Rotary tournament? Celtics versus Suns. I got the Celtics and Suns. I got the Suns winning, and I got Kevin Durant as MVP, really just so he can have this nasty-ass narrative at the end of his career when people want to debate shit and be like, he was the first in-season MVP. Like that even means shit, but we'll see. So, yeah, Celtics, Suns win. Durant MVP. What say y'all?
Love it. So just for that reason that you just said, Kyle, that nobody actually gives a shit about what the in-season tournament is, that's why I picked poorer teams for this.
True.
But for that specifically, I chose for my finals the Timberwolves and the Magic. And I have the Timberwolves winning it with Anthony Edwards being named the champion MVP.
Exact same as Kyle, Devin Booker MVP.
Love it.
Love it.
Celtics.
I want to say if David Stern were still alive, and let's say everything was as it is now, they installed an in-season tournament, and that in-season tournament ended with a T-Wolves Magic finals. He either would have put a gun to his own head. Maybe that's excessive, or he would have found a way to get
money game.
He would find a way to get some WWE shit involved where it's like Lakers Celtics or Lakers versus somebody or Celtics or Sixers versus somebody. He would have found a way to get the Knicks or somebody in there.
I have quickly just want to say one sentence. I have the Suns winning this because this is an AAU format and they're the best AAU team in the league.
It's pretty much the logic I went with as well, honestly. Let's get to the awards.
Great AAU team.
Let's get to the awards. This is the fun part right here. So this is a real award. The Clutch Player of the Year, which is, I think it debuted last year, but it's officially an official award. So that's right. De'Aaron Fox won it. So we will now be predicting it. I've got Luka Doncic winning Clutch Player of the Year.
There we go. Awesome. This was a toss-up. It was tough for me to end up on this one, but with my number one winner of this, I went with Damian Lillard.
Good choice.
And both of them were in mine, and I ended up going with Steph.
Love it.
On brand.
Booker was a close second for me.
Sixth man of the year. I've got Chris Paul, sixth man of the year.
Alrighty. I have. It was really tough. I was stuck between two people, and it was Bobby Portis and Malik Monk, and I'm going with Bobby Portis as my sixth man.
Mine actually was between Jonathan Kuminga and Malik Monk, and I'm going with Malik Monk.
Good choices. Good choices. Most improved player. I have Markelle Fultz as the MIP this year. Markelle
Wow.
Fultz. What about y'all?
Alrighty, I'll go. So I'm gonna give you all 5 of mine real quick. Number 5, Bruce Brown. Number 4, Sengun from the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, Jordan Poole. I do think he's gonna score a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, Ben Simmons. Number 2. And then it's really close, but I think Tyrese Maxey gets Most Improved Player of the Year.
That's interesting.
That's a good choice.
I actually have Austin Reeves.
That's also a good choice. That's a really good choice.
I think that he showed the second half of the season that he's going to take a step, and I think within next year LeBron's going to take a little bit of a step back, and he's within the same kind of minutes. He's going to put up more points. Going to be close to 20, 21 a game, maybe.
Cameron, what'd you have the Brooklyn Nets final record as again?
Brooklyn Nets. I'm gonna scroll up to them real quick. Pretty good. I'll tell you that.
47?
47 and 35.
All right, I was going to say, if they're in the 50s, then Ben Simmons might have to be in the most improved and MVP talks. Coach of the year, I have hyphenated, but I'm going to give it. I said Rick Carlisle or Quinn Snyder. I'm going to go with Quinn Snyder, though, given how much of a win difference I had for them than last year. I think I had them at +6. Pacers at 42 wins wouldn't be a huge step up for them, I don't think. But those would be the two I'm eyeing this year for Coach of the Year. So I got Quinn Snyder.
Love it. I'm going with my bold team, my Thunder. So Thunder coach. I still don't know how to say his last name.
Dagno.
Daniel.
Yeah, something like that. But I'm going with OKC's coach. I think they're gonna rock it this year.
I actually have the same. Even though they are 45 and 37, because of how close I have the West, I think that he's still going to be one of the favorites. He's going to win it. He's going to pull it out.
All right. Rookie of the year. Let's all say it together, okay?
Rookie of the year.
Grady Dick. Oh,
sorry.
I actually got Wembanyama. No surprise here. Not Grady Dick, but I have Victor. Keenan's got Scoot.
Yeah.
Kamden, who do you have?
In my list, I have Scoot getting Rookie of the Year. I think that he is going to play so well on that team. I really do. And I think there's 3 legit people that could win MVP this year between Scoot, Wemby, and Chet. I'm a huge fan of Chet. So
Chet would be in there too. That's right.
Yep. I think that would be really close.
Scoot will have the ball in his hands, so he's going to have all the chances in the world. This would almost be similar to like Lillard winning it over Anthony Davis, his rookie year.
I think that's real.
But Wemby,
you could see a Wemby. LeBron, Melo.
Yep.
Could.
I think it'll be that close. Yep.
Could. I mean, I have a hard time seeing Wemby lose it. But this is a loaded enough rookie class to where he could lose it.
Again, as I was saying, LeBron did tie with Melo because LeBron would have been the same kind of thing again.
They should have been. They should have been co-rookie of the year back in the day. But yeah, they gave it to Bron because Melo led his team to the postseason year one. Defensive player of the year. This is another one I could not choose, but I'm going to go with the unpopular pick. My other choice would have been Anthony Davis, but I'm going to go with Lou Dort.
That's random.
I love it.
That's amazing, but that was
perimeter
random.
player.
Oh boy,
perimeter player.
I love it. I love it, but that's random.
It's funny though, Kyle. I have Anthony Davis as my number 2 for Defensive Player of the Year, but I have Evan Mobley winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2024.
I picked him last year. Good choice. Okay, who you got?
I have Giannis, and I don't think it's going to be particularly close. I think that the fact that he doesn't have to be an offensive juggernaut this year, he's going to focus defensively, and I think he's going to be otherworldly defensively. I don't think it's particularly going to be close.
I like that logic. That would vault him if he had 2 defensive player of the years along with MVP. is multiple MVPs, I should say, and a Finals MVP. That kind of vaults him.
Mm-hmm.
MVP of the league. This one's really tough for me because the usual suspects would be Giannis, Doncic, Jokic. I don't think Luka's team's going to be good enough for him to be in the running. He'll have the stats. I think you'll get voter fatigue with Jokic unless he like takes a huge step up, like unless his scoring gets better, because his rebounding's already top notch. He already averages way more assists than a center ever should, and I think his scoring is always around like 27 a game. So unless he went up to like 31 a game, I really can't see. Or unless like the Nuggets won 66 games, I can't see Jokic getting it again. And I kind of fall in line in that same place with Giannis. I think last year was his best statistical season. Even
Along
better
with
than his
Jokic.
even better than his MVP year. So it'd be hard for me to see him, especially with the addition of Dame. Sometimes voters dock you for that. And the guy I really fall on here, not a homer pick. I didn't even expect to come into this saying this, but he just seems like the logical pick, and that's Jason Tatum. So I have Jason Tatum.
I love it.
Hedging that way. It would be Jason Tatum or Giannis. Giannis would get the edge over Jokic and Doncic and all those guys. But I think the deck's clear for Jason Tatum. Will he take it? We'll see.
Love it. So for me, I have some people here that I would really love to see MVP. And it's between. I think the Jokic thing is real, where there's going to be some voter fatigue with that. So I don't think he's going to win it this year. I think Giannis could win it. But with the addition to Lillard, and Lillard's going to play good enough, that's going to be tough. Now, my MVP for this year, the toss-up between two, is between Anthony Davis, but who I actually think will win it this year, putting up extremely insane numbers, is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander will win MVP this year. I
That's a
think
leap.
he's going to put up some insane numbers this year.
Give us the
with
PPG. Give us the
PPG.
PPG.
Yep. I would say he's scoring 28.5 points a game, 11
It's going
assists a
down.
game, 9 to 10 rebounds. He's going to Russell Westbrook this team out of this world, and people are going to love SGA.
Okay, I see why you have him at 55 wins. You might have undersold. This
Yep.
might be a 58 to 60 win team. Then
They're rocking it, dude. They're gonna rock it.
SGA is just gonna vault. I love SGA, but holy shit, Russell Westbrook.
So I had 6 people in my running, and I've been dwindling it down as the hours have come into the draft. I think Jokic is not winning it unless he does something otherworldly, as you guys said, voters fatigue. Giannis is not going to win it because I think it's going to be the KD Steph thing where either one of them would have had to do something crazy for them to win. So I think that him and Dame are out of it. The Warriors are good, but I don't think Steph's going to win it. I think he'll be in the running. AD, I think, is going to be in the running as well, but I don't think he will win it. Devin Booker, I think, will probably come in second, but unfortunately, he won't win it either. And my one is, I agree with Kyle, I think it's going to be Jason Tatum.
I love that.
The decks are clear for it.
It makes the most sense.
It's going to be someone.
Sense.
Yeah, no, it's going to be someone
Yep.
like Tatum, like SGA, like a Devin Booker, or maybe I can't see it being a KD just because of how much he misses.
Agree.
And Embiid would have to absolutely
They'd have to
carry
be
them.
54 wins.
Yeah,
It would.
yeah, he would have to carry them and deal with the whole Harden situation. And I don't think voters are gonna like him, given how his postseason went. By the way, I want some redemption of me, Keenan, when you did your tiers list and when I said I'd have Embiid ahead of Tatum. I got to take that back just off postseason performance. Celtics fans want to kick me to the curb for that. I would completely understand it. That was foul that I said that. That being said, out of the usual suspects, I do think Giannis is a better chance than Jokic or Doncic.
Yes.
Well, especially Doncic. I don't
Yes.
even consider Doncic
Yeah.
just because I think they're not going to be good.
I don't think the team's good enough to get them.
And I think, and especially, look, if he gets Defensive Player of the Year, then he probably should be MVP. Because, I mean, I don't even know what those stats would look like for Giannis if he's like, all right, I'm going to get as many steals and blocks as I can. But yeah, this is probably the widest array of MVP you could get. There's just so many weird situations this year.
I'm so
And
excited.
I agree. I think your top six, no order, is Tatum, Steph, Jokic, Giannis, Anthony Davis, and then personally, I don't have Shea there, but Shea could be in that. So I think that's your top five, and then you probably Devin Booker for me. I think that's your top six in some order. Obviously, I have Tatum at one, but past that, I think that's your order,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion.
I think sometime within the next day or two, Luca's going to be scrolling the internet. He's going to be scrolling his phone. He's going to be looking through. He's going to come across the Warner Brothas podcast. He's going to get to this
All that
MVP
shade.
section. He's going to get to this MVP section. He's going to hear it, and he's going to turn pink, as white people tend to do when they get mad. And he's just going to he might super saiyan the shit and average 38 for the season. Like he might just say, fuck it. I'm averaging 38, 12, and 14. And for some reason, I wouldn't blink at it because Luca, for some reason, puts up disgusting numbers.
He does.
I would be
All
really
bets are
happy
up.
because that means he watched the Warner Brothers podcast, and that means
Yep.
in one
And it
interview he's going
ignited
to
him.
say the Warner Brothers podcast is fine with me. I don't care.
Yep.
Shout out to him if he did that. I love it.
He's going to be like, I was going to do a Slovenian accent, but I won't do that. He'd be like, what the fuck are these guys saying? But let's move on to the conference finals after we got the NBA awards out of the way. I'm going to just get right to it. I got the Lakers versus Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. I've got the Celtics versus the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. I've got both series going to 7 games. I have the Nuggets beating the Lakers. I have the Celtics beating the Bucks. And I will leave you with that. We'll get to the finals after. So I got a Celtics Nuggets finals, 7-game series with the Bucks, Nuggets with the Lakers. As I'm saying it out loud, I think I would almost favor the Lakers in the Nuggets series. I think I'm just giving the Nuggets the championship treatment, but I really do love the Lakers roster, probably over every roster in the league, honest to God. But
even better than the C's roster.
Even better than the season roster, yeah.
All right.
I think top to bottom, the Lakers have the best roster in the NBA. Celtics would be right there, though. I will say that. But Lakers, to me, have no holes. It's just a matter of how many games does LeBron and AD play.
Facts. Alrighty. Just the conference. So for the Eastern Conference Finals, exactly the same, Kyle. I have Celtics and Bucks going to the championship.
Shocker.
In the Eastern Conference Finals, with the Celtics winning that in 7.
You had the Lakers and you had the Celtics and Bucks tying to both go to the finals and face whoever comes out of the
Both
West.
of them. Anyways, in the West, I also have the Lakers, but for the other team in the West,
Thunder.
I have the Minnesota Timberwolves making the Western Conference Finals.
What was it?
So what does SGA only average 25, 9, and 9 in the playoffs now? What's going on here?
Hey, I'm just letting you know what's going on in my head. And I got Anthony Edwards being a legit player, going to the Western Conference Finals, but losing to the Lakers in 5. Okay. I really do think that. Okay. Then
In 5. Anticlimactic.
it was anticlimactic. Anthony Edwards
Okay.
will be legit though. Then
Let me
okay,
All right,
ask
go ahead.
away before I go out. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta ask, what happens to the Nuggets along the way here?
The Nuggets, they lose to the T-Wolves in the second round.
In how many
That's
games?
all. In my prediction that I have here, I have that going 6 games. I
Okay,
have that
all
going
right.
6 games.
Anthony
Okay?
Edwards says, "Fuck it, it's my league now."
He does.
Wait,
He
Kyle
does.
didn't say his finals, Kamden. So if you're going to say your finals, hold off.
Oh, I'm holding off on the finals, but it's Lakers Celtics in the finals.
Eastern Conference, of course, the last 2 teams standing. I actually have the Bucks over the Celtics in this one.
Fair.
It
I
is fair.
think-
I couldn't do it though.
I think it's fair for you guys. And then just to let you know, I'm going to go with my semis just because it explains more. I have Lakers and Nuggets in the second round, and I have the Lakers winning that. I have Phoenix and Golden State in the second round. I have Golden State winning that. I have the Lakers beating Golden State, and it's going to be a Lakers-Bucks finals.
Interesting. I can't see the Warriors making it that far this year. I really can't.
I think it has all to do with the matchups. If they play the Phoenix Suns, that would be I think they would be able to beat the Phoenix Suns. If they play the Nuggets in the second round, I think they probably lose to the Nuggets unless they were to get a big mid-season that would be very helpful for them. If they could get one of their Andrew Bogut, Festus is even like Andrew Bogut more so type big to go along with that roster, I think that's what they need. So it's really matchup dependent.
Interesting. You know what? I would have picked the Bucks to go to the finals 2 weeks ago. Really, all it took for me was seeing how the Celtics looked in preseason and just their defensive potential. Otherwise, I mean, I'd be sitting here saying, like, I don't believe in the Celtics' toughness. I don't believe, and I'm still questionable of all that, by the way. Like, I'm still questionable of how this team holds up mentally, how Mazzulla would do in a coaching matchup. I guess I would have questions about the Bucks coach at the end of the day. The roster, I really don't. Their depth, I do. I just don't see how the Bucks guard the Celtics. But hey, if the Celtics get in their own way, as they have in recent playoff performances, then of course the Bucks are ripe to take advantage of that. They have Chris Middleton, the Celtic killer. They got Damian Lillard, postseason performer, and then of course Giannis. So again, my finals: Celtics, Nuggets. I got the Celtics winning in 7. Really, again, mainly due to their defensive versatility. Again, if you would ask me 2 weeks ago, I would not have had the Celtics winning it, but it really does seem like their year. Again, though, they can get in their own way. Their coach can get in their way. And if they want to live and die by the 3, that can absolutely get in their way too. But I have them in a classic series coming off a classic conference finals against the Bucks, pulling it out.
Yep. So I got my Lakers and Celtics classic series. As much as I would love for my boy Braun to go get his next ring and just help solidify that GOAT argument that I got, he can't beat the Celtics this year. So the Celtics in 6 versus the Lakers.
Damn, man, the
6
two
games.
Celtics fans have the Celtics winning it all. That's crazy.
I didn't even have them. I had them losing prior to this week, basically. But
I got Lakers, Bucks. I have the Bucks winning it all. I think Dame gets his first Giannis Finals MVP, and then we start talking about Giannis in a different light.
Yep.
2 defensive player of the years, 2 MVPs, 2 finals MVPs, 2-0 in the finals. Start talking about him a little different.
You do.
But okay, so we have just bold predictions left, and we're good.
Yeah.
We have bold predictions. I do have a couple just general questions to throw out after the bold predictions. They'll be pretty quick. They'll be rapid fire. You guys just want to give our 3, or you want to go one by one?
Yeah,
How
just
y'all
give our
want to do
3.
it? Sure. Number 1, I got Wemby leading the league in blocks this year.
Okay.
Victor Wembanyama, blocks leader. Bold prediction number 2, Russell Westbrook will return to All-Star form. We will see him in the All-Star game. Good comeback for someone people had written off as possibly being out of the league at some point within the next year. So have him returning to the All-Star game. And then 3rd, we talked about him. He will be seeing this podcast. He will get very upset, and it will lead him to what I have as Luka going back-to-back 50-point games, which the more I think about it, isn't really that bold. So I'll just say he averages 50 for a week. So maybe he has 3 or 4 games straight of 50. So I upped a bold prediction to a bolder prediction.
Okay.
Love it. I'm up next.
Yep.
Sure.
Coolio. First bold pick. Anthony Edwards emerges as a top 5 player in the NBA.
It's boldish.
Okay.
Yep. Second bold pick. Tyrese Maxey is an all-star starter this year.
That is
and
bold.
Embiid,
that is definitely bold.
Yep. And Embiid and Maxey will have the best 2-man game in the league.
Damn.
That's
Over Jokic
okay.
and Murray. Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Over Giannis and Lillard.
Over all of that, Tyrese Maxey and Embiid will have the best two-man game. Not the best team, but the best two-man game. Finally, Chris Paul will not be on the Warriors on Christmas Day. He will be on a different team by Christmas.
Early
That's
trade.
early.
Early
Yep.
trade.
That's early. I like
Yep,
it.
they are not gonna I don't think it's gonna work. Those are my 3 bold predictions.
I actually went 5. Can I just read all 5?
Do it.
Sure.
There will be a double off the glass alley oop in a game this season.
A game breaker.
Love it.
A
game
real life game
breaker
breaker.
game.
What team?
Booker and Durant go for dual 50s.
I like it. Who's
Love
pulling
it.
off the double?
Which has never been done.
Who's pulling off the
Nope.
game breaker though?
Actually, I was thinking the Hornets because I think LaMelo would absolutely go for it. I think
Yep.
LaMelo would be the guy to go for it.
I could see the
I
Hornets.
think
or maybe the
LaMelo to
Rockets.
Terry Rozier to Brandon Miller. I think that would be the way to go for it. They don't care enough to do it.
That might be enough to get Steven off the Sixers and just have him be a Hornets fan if he saw them pull off a double alley oop.
He would be absolutely
Double off the glass alley oop.
Yeah. Dame goes for 82.
Wow. Breaking Kobe's
82.
number 2.
I think Dame goes for. He went for 70 last year. I think he could have gone for 80. I think
Yeah.
he goes for 82. I think with Giannis, he can have even easier time.
So Giannis must have like 15
I'm
assists
loving
in this game,
Keenan's
too.
NBA year.
These are bold. These
I
are
was
very
going to
bold.
say Giannis has a triple double in this game. It's an easy triple double for him. Chris Paul has a 20 assist, 0 turnover game.
Didn't he do that a couple years ago in the playoffs? Or I think he had like maybe a 15
I think he's old. I think it was like 18 and 0. I think he's older. I can go if you don't think that's bold. I think 25 would be bold.
That is
But,
bold.
for sure. No, 20's bold. He'd just sit at the top of the key and hit each corner to Clay and Curry. Just dish each corner.
I think with Steph and Clay just getting hot one game, I think he could manage. And then I like this one. Ben Simmons hits a game-winning ISO jump shot. He clears people out. He goes off the handle and it's an ISO jumper.
Now it's too far.
That would make people go
nuts. Now it's too far.
That will be on.
They're down 97-96. Ben gets it. He waves off Mikal Bridges. It's 1-2.
It's an 18-foot jumper.
Pull up from 18 buckets.
I'm not even
Off
kidding.
the backboard.
I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. I wholeheartedly believe Dame could get 82 before Ben Simmons could hit a game-winning ISO jump shot. I will believe it. That's bold.
I don't even agree. I don't even disagree with you.
That's how bold it
I
is.
disagree with Kyle.
Was that 4 or was that 5?
Yep.
Sorry, all 5. That was 5.
I love that.
We did not do the quadruple double prediction that we usually do, which means that probably this will be the year that someone gets it.
Yeah.
It'll be someone like
Wemby.
yeah, right. It'll be Wemby or it'll be someone like TJ McConnell or someone like that. General questions for you guys. And I think I know at least Kamden's answer for this one, given off his predictions. What team are you most excited to watch?
Cam, you go first.
Most excited to watch? I gotta go with the Thunder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, I love this team. I cannot wait to see what Shea's got to do with this team. But more importantly, I am so excited for Chet to see him just be on the court, play basketball. I love his game and what he's going to be able to do with this team. Josh Giddey, everybody. I'm so excited for this team and what they're going to be able to do this year.
Me, I'd say Portland. I'm really excited to see all that young talent and see how they put it together. It would be them, and then next would be the Suns. I'm interested to see how that big three works.
Yeah, I've got three I'm really intrigued by. I would say I'm most excited to see the Magic, like a full season of all these young guys to see how that goes. Next, I agree with
Hmm.
Keenan. I really want to see what this Suns team looks like just all together. It seems wild on paper, especially when you say Bradley Beal at point guard. Like he's the definition of a two guard.
Yeah.
Uh, so can't wait to see what that looks like. And then next, it's kind of weird to say because we've really seen it, but we did not get to see it last postseason, and I didn't have the best record for them at all as far as their overall team. But I'm really interested to see what this Clippers team will look like with a healthy Kawhi, healthy Paul George, and a different point in his
Mm.
career, but motivated Westbrook. Um, so I'm very intrigued by the Clippers. Not sure at all what to expect from them. What player are you most excited to watch this season?
Cam, you first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sengun on the Rockets, legitimately, because he's a legit dude. He's tall, he can shoot, he's a really good player, and I think that that team will be bad enough that I think he can emerge as potentially the best option on offense. And I'm really excited to see him play basketball. So I'm going with him.
I've actually got. I'm going to give you a quick three. One's Anthony Edwards. I really want to see the. I want to see what next step he takes. Two is Jonathan Kaminga. I'm interested to see if he can take that next step or if he's just going to end up being kind of a guy who doesn't really pan out as what he could have been, which is people thinking like a legitimate starter. And then the third is Giannis. And I know it may be boring, but Giannis, I want to see how easy the game becomes with Lillard. Like, I just want to
Yep.
see how free he plays. Obviously, I feel like Lillard's going to play free, but I'm just really curious. And I'm curious to see if he amps up his defensive play.
Yeah. Can I put one more player out there real quick that I'm interested in
Yeah,
watching too?
absolutely.
Sure.
Jaron Jackson Jr. I think he's
Mm.
going to go off and be quite the player this year. So I'm really excited to see him play.
I would say two players I'm intrigued by as far as situation goes. Obviously, Dame in his new situation. I want to see what he looks like with real
Mm-hmm.
talent around him, how him and Giannis look together. Uh, Another player I'm very intrigued by is Kevin Durant. He is such
Mm-hmm.
a weird player to look at historically, given how great he
Yep.
is, but like how he got to where he is, and demanded a trade last year. Now he's on the Suns. They're kind of his team, but they're really still kind of Devin Booker's team, kind of, because Devin Booker was there first, but it's Kevin Durant. Like how's this all going to work out? We only saw probably 15 games of this last year, so now we get to see a full season.
Yeah.
Um, who's the fucking other player I was thinking of? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who I was thinking of because the real answer to this is the fucking 7'5" player with guard skills who can guard on the perimeter, who can protect the rim, who is
Yeah.
a fucking cyclops. Like, what the fuck is this guy? That's who I'm most excited to see play this year is Victor Wembanyama. We've never seen anything like him. I said this last time. I mean, if you've heard me talk in the last two podcasts, I've said this dude breaks my fucking brain. I don't know what to make of him on the NBA court, and he's just gonna make life a ton easier for Pop and everybody. I mean, Pop
His
even
matchups are going to
signed.
be so cool.
They really are. They really are. I mean, his potential is literally endless. But yeah, that's who I'm most excited for. What matchup? You alluded to matchups just barely, Camp. What matchup can you wait? Can you not
Yep.
wait to see? Whether that's player to player, whether that's team to team,
Player or team?
either, whatever.
Oh, either or. I
I'll go
mean,
first. Oh,
we
go
put
ahead.
it
Go
out
ahead.
there a few times. Okay. You go first. You go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say the usual suspects. I think we all want to see, like Suns, Lakers, Suns, Bucks, Lakers, Bucks, Nuggets, Sun, all those. So I mean, boring answer: Celtics, Bucks, Celtics, Lakers, Celtics, Suns. But I want to see all these top dogs face each other. I can't wait,
Celtics
especially
Bucks
coming
is not
off.
boring. That'll be fire.
Absolutely, especially coming off of last year, where we always have these matchups, but it just seemed like we would constantly get these stars sitting out on these national TV games. Now, supposedly, there's more incentive for them to play with the new CBA of you have to have 65 games for awards, the in-season tournament, of course. So, yeah, I mean, nothing crazy there. And if you want player for player and we want to keep it Wemby, maybe Wemby versus Giannis. That'll be interesting to watch. Or even Wemby versus Jokic.
I'll quickly go, Kamden, just so you can even have a
Yeah.
little bit more time to think. Player wise, Wemby versus Scoot. Obviously, they're not playing against each other, but they're going to be on the same court. I'm interested for that first matchup because I think both of them are going to take it a little personal, or like a "I'm better than you" rookie kind of thing, especially because Scoot has that edge. Matchup wise, I think Warriors Lakers is always interesting because, again, as much as we can see LeBron and Steph, because those are two of the greatest players ever, is always great. So I think that's going to be a great matchup. And then another one that I think is going to be really interesting is I think that Milwaukee and Phoenix. I think that matchup is going in the regular season is going to be an electric one. And how is Milwaukee's defense going to match up against Phoenix's offense? How is Phoenix going to be able to try to stop them? I think that's going to be a really interesting matchup. So those would be a few of them.
Yeah. For me, the players that I want to see play basketball against one another for terms of playing is I want to see a Jokic and Embiid game go down to the wire, fighting at the freaking hoop, going at it. MVPs really going. I would love to see them really just have an awesome game. For some
They do have
games
good
that I want to
matchups.
see,
Yeah.
I know. Yep. For the game that I want to see, or players, or the game, I would like to see a Maverick Spurs game because I think there's something there with Luca and Victor Wembanyama being international players, and how prevalent they've been in terms of already being talked about as future MVPs. Their first time playing against each other, I think, would be an awesome moment, seeing what that offensive masterpiece will be in a lot of ways. I'm excited to see a Warriors and Lakers game, but even more than that, I am more excited to see a Warriors Wizard game because I cannot wait to see Jordan Poole show up in Cali and do what Jordan Poole will do that day. I'm hoping he puts up a lot of points, but he might as well put. He might
He's
shoot
going to
one
put
for
up a lot
25.
of shots.
You want to
He's
talk
gonna
about
put up a lot of shots.
Keenan talked about 82. Keenan talked about 82. Jordan Poole is going to try to put up 82 on the Warriors. That's for sure.
You know he is. You know
And
he is.
also, Warriors Suns always has a little bit because like Clay and Devin don't like each other. KD always playing the Warriors is interesting. I think he's only done it like once
Yep.
since he's been like out. So I think has he was he injured for all of them? I don't know if
I
he
don't think
has
he's
yet.
played the Warriors since. I think because I remember
Because I
that being
think
a
he
thing
was
last year and he
supposed
didn't
to and
do it.
then was injured. So I think the first time we finally see it, which is tomorrow at 10. So
Wow.
he can't be injured for it. So
Yep. Yep.
it's going to be the first time we see. So tomorrow night, speaking of alluding to tomorrow, I think it's going to be great because we're going to get Mike Malone versus the Lakers, and he loves to talk about the Lakers. And then we're going to get Phoenix and Golden State. I think this is the way you start off a season.
Mm-hmm. I'm also excited to see the Heat play the Bucks and
Yeah.
or the Celtics. Both of those games will be intense. From them
Yeah.
getting knocked off from the Heat, there's something there that's going to be exciting to watch. But especially the Heat and Bucks, like the Bucks might just try their best to demolish the Heat. The Heat might try to stay in that game and still win it. I don't know. I think those games will be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. Sorry, got some draft text right here. But last question:
Yeah, no, you're all good.
Who is one player you guys would like to see traded? Doesn't necessarily have to be on the trade block, but just someone you would like to see with a change of scenery.
Oh man, now I gotta go through and just quickly browse these teams to know who. Honestly, man, I don't. Actually, you know what? Anthony Edwards. I would like to see him in a big market. I would like to see him on a.
Okay.
I would like to see Anthony Edwards in a big market. Do I think he's going to be fine in Minnesota? Absolutely. But I would like to see him. Like, actually, right now, if I saw him with Brunson on the Knicks, I would be very, very excited. I think that would be electric. Something
Yeah.
like that. I would love that. So Anthony Edwards, even though he will not be traded this year.
This is a tough one, but I am kind of going to the. We talked about this for a little bit today. I want to see Trey Young on a new team. I want to see Trey Young. Kyle alluded to Kyrie Irving going to LA. I want to see Trey Young playing with LeBron James, and I want to see Trey Young playing with Anthony Davis. I want to see Trey Young in a bigger market. I want to see him lighten things up. He's just such an electric player, better than I ever thought he would be, but I want to see him somewhere else. That's the guy that I could think of off the top of my head.
Okay,
I don't
Kyle,
really have
you?
an answer here, or not one prepared. Off the top of my head though, geez, that's hard. You know what? I wanted him traded before off the Celtics. I mentioned this earlier. I do wonder what Jaylen Brown would look like elsewhere. That's probably the one that I've replayed the
Boo.
most in my head. That I'm like, what would that like? Just what would that look like if you put him on Atlanta with Trey Young? If we're talking about Trey Young, or if you put him on Orlando, just
Mm-hmm.
inserted him there, like what would he look like as a number one? Because I don't know. I think he's pretty good. I don't think he's great, right? I think he's a
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's an all NBA player, so he is great, but I don't think he's as skilled as the upper echelon, the people that he's in that class with necessarily. Go ahead, Keenan.
One more person that I would like to see traded, and it would be LaMelo. I realize that if you
Good
saw
call.
LaMelo in Philly, if you could
Interesting.
facilitate a Harden deal, obviously you're not going to. But like if you could facilitate a Harden deal to where Maxi, because Maxi's a two, really, like he can play the one, but he's really more of a score first guy. With him, Embiid, LaMelo pick and roll would be disgusting. So I think if LaMelo somehow made his way to Philly to play with Embiid, I think that would be really, really fun.
I'll put one more out there. I would also like to see Zion traded and or Brandon Ingram. Somebody on that team
Mm,
moved. I think Brandon Ingram in another place would be awesome though.
Yeah, I like BI a lot.
Hmm.
for sure, for sure. All right. Well, that was the Warner Brothers podcast NBA preview for the 2023-2024 season. We discussed a lot. So
We
hey,
did.
if you made it this point, maybe you had to break it into two parts, but you made it. This was a lot of fun to do. Cam, can't wait to see you back. We'll be talking tons of NBA this year. Really an
For sure.
unprecedented season with this in-season tournament, with all these new rules trying to get players to play more. Once again, going head-to-head with the NFL at the beginning of its season. So I cannot wait to see how this shakes out, especially in the first few months. Catch me and Keenan on the Live Take app. We reacted to the Week 7 games, doing a little mini
Absolutely.
podcast last night. We will be on there debating something to do with the NBA tomorrow. So that's an iOS only
Love
app.
it.
So, hey, go get an iPad if you ain't got one. Go throw your Android out if you ain't got one. Go get yourself something Apple. That way you can download the Live Take app. And you can have your own mini podcast and
Mhm.
shit on there if you want to. Polls, all that. Anything you want as far as sports debates. Cam, once again, thanks for coming on.
Yes.
Keenan, great seeing you again. We will be
Thanks for
back
having me.
Thursday. Hey, Cam, open invite if you want to come on and do picks with us on Thursday for the NFL. You can get back to us on that. You don't got
Bet.
to answer it, but
Appreciate it.
open invite. Warner Brothers
Yep.
Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Warner Brothas Podcast, YouTube Warner Brothas Podcast,
Yep.
TikTok Warner Brothas Podcast.
Yep.
It's all chalk. It's all chalk. Peace. This was Kyle. This was Keenan. This was Cam. Peace.